Uncensored is a podcast where real-life coders share their stories, best practices, and talk about coding and beyond. Coders Uncensored, podcast, real-life coders,
best practices,
coding and beyond. Coding and beyond. This is Coders Uncensored. Welcome, coders and people. I'm Angel Cora, and I am the senior coder of the group.
I'm Travis T, the newest coder on the block.
And this is Coders Uncensored. This week, our topic is coding for difficult clients. So if anyone has ever dealt with difficult clients in the past, this one's going to be a real interesting one because we usually never take shit from anyone. So I'm curious what Travis is going to be saying on a lot of these things. But we are currently live streaming right now on Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Send in questions throughout the show. Send in questions. If you have comments, if you want to curse us out, feel free to do so. This is a safe space where you guys can talk your hearts out. We'll read them on the show towards the end. And if anything comes during the show, that's actually pretty interesting and we want to kind of move it forward, we do that because we don't give a fuck. If you're listening to us through the podcast, thank you so much for tuning in. But before we jump into the good stuff, let's talk about the week. Travis T, how was your week?
My week was great. I was very productive with the Get Cannabis project. Site is coming along. We had a great team meeting with the other people who are part of the team. So shout out to everybody at Get Cannabis team. That was great. And then also spent a lot of time this week kind of going through messages and DMs and kind of sourcing clients. And out of all the messages, only one ended up being a good one. So we had a meeting for a potential new client. And, we're kind of putting that together. So we'll see how that works out. What about you? How'd your week go?
It went well, but I'm going to stop right here because I did the unthinkable, and it was that I did not add Mandy to our intro spiel.
Oh.
So I'm going to have to pause right there and say, start this all over again because why the fuck not, right? So I'm Angel Cora, the senior coder of the group.
I'm Travis T, the newest coder on the block.
Mandy.
Yeah, Mandy Boo, the producer.
And welcome to Coders Uncensored. Now that's the truth.
All right, cool.
Yeah, but aside from that, my week has been, I don't think it's ever not hectic, right? It's ever not hectic, but my biggest deal this past week has been working with something called, it's creating a front-end post-submission application on a website, right? I actually reached out to this morning to Lee, our WordPress featured coder from a few weeks ago. I threw my olive branch as far as possible and practically pleaded to her to help me out to see if she had insights that I didn't. All in all, it looks like it's open field. If we create this plugin, if we create this chunk of code, I feel like we're going to be the first people to actually create a dynamic front-end posting submission.
Ah, nice.
So that's very exciting. And I'm not saying there isn't any out there, but they are definitely limited and very extremely expensive. So maybe create this and we make it open source so we can have collaborators and a lot of people join in. That would be awesome. But that will be something I'm looking forward to.
Right, great.
Nice.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right.
How about your week, Mandy?
Just getting this episode together, I think it's been an amazing project, really digging into the unknown, but having fun with it and making it my own. And just the reaction of you guys with this episode, I think I'm excited to see what we have today.
I do have to point out that the artwork, the Instagram chats, the tweets, the Facebook posts, everything has escalated like 100, 200, 300%. Because before it was just Travis and I really talking shit towards ourselves, towards a laptop, bringing some other people in. But definitely your addition has been amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, so let's dig deeper into the topic of the week. But before we do, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor.
Stay informed on health and laws regarding cannabis, from agriculture and business to entertainment and fun topics. Get Cannabis is your online source for news and updates about cannabis, CBD, and hemp worldwide. GetCannabis.com.
Great. So let's jump into it. Are you excited, Travis?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
I think Air's ready.
Yes.
Alrighty. All right, guys. So our first question will be, can you tell the client will be difficult right off the bat?
We could definitely alternate. Travis, why don't you kick it off today?
Yes. Let me say this. You definitely can tell if the client will be difficult from the beginning. And it's all about what we talked about before, is the way they communicate. If you tell them that they need to email you some details or let's schedule a call and they have an issue with that, you may not even want to deal with them at all. Like that first initial response, that first impression, it really tells you, because remember, they're asking you to do a service and they want to spend money with you. So it's almost like I'm always confused. It's like, where's the attitude and let's understand each other so we can make something happen. So yeah, I would say yes. I can tell from the first when they come in like all professional, and then you say, okay, let's set up a meeting. Wait, why we got to do all that? What? Like, as soon as they get confused like that, I feel like you can tell from the beginning if they're going to be professional or not professional. What do you think, Corey? What do you think?
I agree 100%. The first email, I mean, there will be some clients that kind of become assholes after a few days, a few weeks and stuff like that. But yeah, I agree 100%. Right from the beginning, you can tell when someone is like being too difficult to work with. It's really hard for me to like pinpoint a particular thing that kind of like irks me the wrong way, that like kind of turns me off. It's all about the way they communicate with us. If one of the, like, for example, someone can be completely unorganized, the most unorganized person in the world, that won't be a turnoff, just because that means that we can help them, create that structure and foundation to build something up. As long as you have that drive, that energy, that mutual respect, I think those are the top three things that we, at least I usually look for.
Right.
And if you don't have really any of those three, that means you're going to be a shit client.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, that's what I think. Anything in the past, Travis, you feel like we need to like expose?
You gave a good example about being unorganized, because we've had recent clients that, they're just so happy and creative that it comes across as unorganized, but they communicate. So we can handle that. And so part of my job was getting the emails organized, getting stuff to structure. They come to us to get structure and then get it coded and built and stuff like that. So that's okay. But they were unorganized, but enthusiastic, creative, and responsive. So it ended up being a great client. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
that's a lot better than being like unprofessional and not communicating. But if you're unorganized, no problem. Just come. We'll give you structure.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really think about it too, aside from the organization, it's a lot of people who don't understand really what we do, right? A lot of people don't really understand. They think we point and click, and maybe they've been burned by developers in the past.
Right.
They were burned and stuff like that, and they come already out of this resentment. They're like, all right, this is what you gotta do, blah blah blah, fuck you. But really, I think it's also definitely on us to be able to communicate correctly, and say, hey, we understand the past is the past. Thank you. Next, whatever spiel you have to say about, like, okay, this is the past. We are your future. But that's also something to keep in mind. And yeah, that's a really shitty way to handle bad clients, or no bad clients from the get-go. But first impression is everything, especially in this industry.
Absolutely.
It really is.
You guys ready for the next one?
Let's go.
All right. Our second question: can you share or give us an example of what a difficult client is?
Oh, I think we just explained it.
Yeah.
But
I think we just explained it.
to go further, I would say a difficult client is also one that is not descriptive. They don't give details. For example, I want it to look bigger. What does that mean? I want a different color. What color? Like one word answers and things like that, that now we have to chase them around to get feedback when really they want us to move the top bar to the bottom or whatever. Just like be descriptive and we'll figure out how to do it. But when you just say, I don't like that, or make it bigger or a different color, you have to tell me, what do you want it changed to? How do you want it to flow? Give me an example website. Give me something to feed off of instead of these just random, like, I want it to look professional. I'm sure you do. But what does professional mean to you? So I think like they're difficult when they don't describe what they really mean. They assume everyone understands their definitions of different things.
And they want you to finish it the day that they, initially wanted. It's like, well, if you keep changing your mind, our deadline is going to get longer and you're going to get paid, you have to pay more money.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
I would have to say an example of a difficult client, right? The question was a difficult client,
Right.
difficult but not a fireable offense. Difficult where you kind of tolerate to a certain extent is looking over the shoulder, where it's like, okay, cool, you gave me a task, let me work on this task. But the moment I feel like someone's over my shoulder, I cannot code the same. To be honest, it's almost like there's this meme around. I don't know if you've seen it. It's the Korean dictator guy, like standing over the shoulder of a programmer trying to, I don't know, nuclear something.
Okay.
Sweating.
Oh man.
Stressed. And that's exactly the same feeling, even though it's, not to that level of
Right.
or a country. But that's exactly the same feeling that I feel like should be definitely one of the worst things I hate clients doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Micromanaging.
Yes. All right. Next question.
Right.
What will you do if the client declines to get fired?
Has this ever happened to you, Travis?
No. So I'm trying to clarify the question. Are you saying that I'm telling them, no, I don't want to work with you anymore? And they were like, no, you're going to build this site.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no problem giving them their money back. No problem. No problem. Before they can finish talking, your money's already been refunded. We'll give you the opportunity to be successful somewhere else. Nice. Google or anything like that. And, take care.
It's funny. I know this question was brought up because Mandy has seen me personally break up with someone. Right. And it was like I was dating this person. We're like, no, don't leave me. And I'm like, hey, no, you know what? Like my time as a freelancer has come and gone, and I don't have the enough time and resources to commit to your projects. Bro, what the fuck was that? It was, before I continue and badmouth this particular person, which is also has become an actual legit great friend of mine. I still work. I still do freelance work for him.
It's been like 4 years now.
It's been 4 or 5 years, so I gotta give it. He knew we had something special, and
the client refused to let you fire them.
Yep.
Three times.
Did they increase the budget? How did they keep you?
No, he became
understanding.
She became so much more understanding. It was almost like a wake-up call kind of thing. And I feel like this particular person had shitty developers in the past. And I'm not saying I'm a perfect developer or anything, but the one thing that I do is follow up a lot. I follow up, period. If I can't get to something, I usually tell people something. I don't sugarcoat anything, and I don't think of bullshit excuses like, oh, I didn't see your email. Like, bitch, I'm a fucking coder. My email lives everywhere around. Right. If you hear me come up with that response for you, that means that I was extremely lazy and did not care about my response.
Right.
But yeah, that's happened to me in the past. And I have no good answer for that. I just kind of like said, yes, let's keep this relationship going.
But they improved what they were doing, so you were able to stay.
Yes, they definitely improved a lot.
Okay.
So that's the win from it, you know.
Yeah, because I'm looking at that like, what in the world? No, like the first thing is like once the money is back in their possession, I don't have anything that services have been rendered. I had nothing to talk to you about. Like,
Exactly, yeah.
so you were nice in that case, and I'm glad the client got better. But yeah, I'll let you stay with that one. You don't have to.
All right, here we go. Will you take a client or a client referral from difficult clients? And if so, what will be your thought process in case this is also a difficult client?
Oh, absolutely, yes. I would definitely take referral from any hard client. Why? Because they're not like related. they're not like together. It's not the same company. That what's the saying that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. These are two fucking different trees we're talking about. Like it's not even part of that same realm. So absolutely, because the friend of one doesn't automatically signify them to be a bad client or anything like that.
I think you just have to have some type of test. Throw out that test email, that test interaction, and if it's the exact same as the difficult client, wow, these people are like twins. If it's different, then you're like, okay, this is the responsible friend I'm dealing with now. And you can go from there. But definitely I'm looking at that first interaction like, wait, let's see, did they respond to the email, or looking for any hint or clues to make sure it's not going to be like that other client.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
But wouldn't you be nervous? Like going into this meeting one-on-one, it's like, oh my God, your mind goes like, is it going to be difficult or like...
I have lost all sense of nervousness talking to people and talking to clients. It's just because I'm not afraid of rejection. I mean, I was definitely afraid of rejection right at the beginning. Like anytime I would quote someone, I'd be like, $400? and with every quote, I would send a question mark like, oh, is this enough for you? Does it work with your budget? No, it's like, I give everyone me right at the beginning. Like, this is me. I am a really good coder who loves cannabis and will get your work done. Like, that's me. If there is any issues, there's an issue there, then cut it off.
I think your what you just said literally is the definition of our definition from today, which is worth. Like, your worth.
Mm-hmm.
It's just why settle for less? So
the entire circle. You saw how that came all together.
It was not planned. It was not planned.
No.
Sometimes I'm nervous, a little bit, just 'cause I don't know what the person's saying, and I'm newer. But it's just like cut and dry. I try to be like very, very transactional, just cut and dry. This is the price you want it, and I'm expecting the first like 10 people to not be official. Like, I think they want to know, because it happens so many times. Like, and like when I was first starting to tell people, he was like, "Yeah, you're gonna have like maybe 20, 30 people gonna bullshit, and then you get some people, and then what happened? 20, 30 people bullshit." That's just how it goes when you're trying to get the clients.
Right, and definitely don't confuse cockiness with like knowing your worth. Those two things that I feel like a lot of people misconstrued. Like, if you know who you are and what you do is good shit, then go for it. You don't get what you're doing. But I feel like we got way off that fucking question. Way off, like,
what is the question again?
You guys ready for the next one, though?
All right. We'll pay attention this time.
Yeah, for real.
All right. Okay, let's go. How many chances do you give yourself or the client before you fire them?
I don't think I have an amount, because the client that didn't want to break up with me and I was inside that abusive relationship, he got better. He got better. We worked out, so I don't think like I have a certain amount. I do have a lot of patience. A lot of people tell me that like my patience is like extremely long. So I don't have a certain amount. I think it goes back to the way you act. If you disrespect me, that's literally just one shot. Like there's no coming back from that, But if it's something that we kind of have miscommunication, or we head bump on a particular design or code or something. Like those things happen. So it's all about, I guess it's all about the respect factor. Like if there's disrespect, that's when there's just one and done. But if it's just code related or something that we both are trying to get to know each other's workflow, then for me, there's no limit to that.
Nice.
And I hear you say patience, and you are very patient, but I've noticed your patience is kind of tied into the amount of the budget as well. So you might be more patient with one person, because that's how I am, at least, especially being new. And I'm like, wait, okay, I'm a new coder. I can't really be patient with somebody who's only paying a little bit and they're disrespectful. Disrespect is like not going to be tolerated. But if you're communicating with me, it's a big budget and it's difficult, and I have to go ask Corda or whatever, get help. Oh yeah, we'll work it out. We'll work it out. So I don't have many times like that, but I do feel like that. Disrespect, you can't do it. And if I have to run and chase after you, like I remember I was chasing these like 2 clients that we thought we had. Corda was like, "Nah, don't chase them. Don't chase them." He had to like tell me, because I wanted a client so bad. I was chasing them. So as far as like how many times I would let somebody run me over and stuff, was like, I got a short tolerance for that.
I think this industry will help you make that patience grow a little bit more. But yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I'm the same way. All right. So you guys ready for our next segment?
Oh yeah.
Very ready.
Let's go. We are going to if and ifs. Let's go, guys.
Uh-huh.
All right. So I think when I did this if and if card, you'll see what happens. So
real quick before we do jump into that, if and if segment where there are 2 options presented to us, very similar to that. So we took it to a coding kind of aspect of it, of if and if. We don't see anything, so we don't know what's going to be appearing. Same thing with any of our previous or future featured coders. They have no idea what this is.
No idea.
So that's what this segment is so exciting, and it's nerve-wracking, all in one.
Let's get it. Our first one. Do you prefer coding on a rainy day or on a sunny day?
That is interesting. I never really thought about that.
Rainy day.
Why?
Rainy day because I feel like it's nighttime and I feel like I'm in a zone, and it's like, you just in that zone. It made me feel like nighttime in the zone and stuff like that. That's only because recently the other day when I was looking at some code, it was raining and I just felt like that. So it could change, because sometimes if it's sunny, then it's like, okay, you get that upbeat. But for this week, I would say rain. Yeah, because it changes. It changes.
I would have to say sunny, and the reason why is because, like, for example, today, like when 1 p.m. hit, I got so sleepy, I took a nap. I haven't taken a nap in so long.
Right.
And coding fucks with you in that matter. Like you have so much mental exercise constantly that shit. I took a fucking nap after lunch, and you saw my lunch, Trevor. That shit was pure. Well, to give you an idea, we always celebrate holidays the day after because it's always so much cheaper. Cinco de Mayo, day after. Christmas, day after. The only thing we celebrate the day of would be like New Year's.
Yeah.
Just because, you'll be a day late. But like everything else is the day after. So after having that Mexican food, that enchilada con taquitos, bro, we just knocked out for a good 30 minutes. Sunny day, beaming face. I was energized. I was ready to take on the day. I love sunny days.
Nice.
I think when I made that card, like it was raining and I was working, I'm like, yes, because I felt like if it was sunny, all I want to go is go to the park. I don't want to be working. And that's why I was like, I prefer it to be rainy so I can just concentrate on working, like just work. All right, let's go. The next one. Get paid salary or get paid an hourly?
I've gotten paid both.
Mhm.
And in an industry where hours are vital, because these are definitely on an hour kind of basis, kind of company industry. I mean, the marketing industry, the advertising agency, it's all about hourly rates. It's not like
Mhm.
salary when it comes to revenue. Um, that being said, I would have to say hourly, just because even in a salary setting, when I did work for digital agencies, big digital agencies in New York, uh, it would be, you know what? Maybe sometimes it would be to 7 p.m., 8 p.m. I think I was working on a view application on New Year's Eve, called into the office kind of thing, like when it was off. And I was literally coding until like 10 p.m. On New Year's Eve. When the whole world was kind of not the whole world, when the whole company was closed, quote unquote closed. So it's not like it was just like staying after, because for me staying after it's cake. Like this is what we do kind of thing, like
Mhm.
when we have an objective, we have to finish it. We're all about deadlines, but it does not reflect when you're salaried. And
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to add is that that's the one reason why in a NAMA group, I always try to tell everyone, do not work a minute after those hours, because the minute like I allow that, I feel like I'm failing everyone.
Yeah.
That's why I fail everyone in the team, because that means I didn't budget it correctly and I didn't do something right.
No, you're right.
That's a good
I
point.
worked years doing salaried jobs, and knowing that they could abuse you. You signed up for the 40 hours a week. You end up working 60, and your salary is the same.
Mhm.
In this particular field, when you're working hard and you can bill, it's like, okay, you want it hourly, so you about to send that invoice. It's like,
Right.
so you want that flexibility in this particular field where the jobs, and the hours are how you bill the clients and say, look, this is many man hours we have to do, so we can bill you more.
Exactly.
That's yeah. So that, I guess like working with clients, you want that, because I can't even imagine a client and you're trying to like have a flat rate with the client.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to
Messy.
go over. I mean,
Mhm.
it always happens. It always happens. And then by the time you calculate everything, you end up making maybe like $4 an hour
Yeah.
when it's salaried and stuff like that.
yeah, we can't do that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on from this one. Do you rather deal with difficult clients or clueless clients? I think there's
Clueless.
just
Clueless.
Close. Yeah, that's no brainer. That's definitely no brainer. You can always educate someone, but you can't fix ignorance.
Right.
So yeah, that was yeah.
Clueless and you're ready to pay. They'll say, hey, before you spend that money, let me educate you on a few things. Here are your
Mhm.
options. Do you want to pay me this way or that way? And then you can do that. But if they're just difficult, that won't go away.
That's true. That is very true.
unless it's a client that Cora has.
Exactly. And he probably paid his way in.
Hey,
That's why
listen,
he's leaving out.
we're BFFs now, okay, guys? We're the bestest of friends. We talk about life and love and money. So
Hey,
Your
sometimes,
favorite thing.
sometimes kids, it works out. Right?
Yeah.
sometimes,
Yeah. Don't give up unless it's. Alrighty. Let's go with, do you rather build a site from scratch or you rather have a fixer upper?
oh, this is it. Travis can even answer this one.
Build a site from scratch.
Why?
Because if you build a site from scratch, you know the logic behind everything. You know why things are in certain places. You know where they're at. You know what was used to make it. So when there's a bug and there's an issue, you can track it down because you know. When you're
Right.
doing a fixer upper, like Get Cannabis, for example, and they have different plugins you didn't know about. You don't know why they put certain things in certain ways. It doesn't make sense to you. There's a lot of trash in there. It's someone else's code, and the code's not clean. I can go on and on and on. But that's the issue when you're trying to restore something opposed to building it from the ground up where you were there at the beginning and you saw everything and put it in motion. And that's something I learned, working with Corey when we were doing this fixer up. He was like, because we didn't build that, we have to do this, we have to do that. So the majority of all the problems I have every week are because we're working on the sites that we didn't build from scratch. The site that we built from scratch, that's much easier. It's like, oh, let me show you this. So yeah, build it from scratch.
Yeah, and this comes from a person, me, that absolutely love refactoring. I am such a big advocate for refactoring everything. You know, how can we make this code condense? How can we make this code perform better? How can we make this code faster? But there is no I can't even find the right words to describe this. There is no bigger torture than refactoring other people's shitty code. Like that's the type of shit you cry. You fetal position in the corner of your room saying, "Fuck life, I should have become, I don't know, I should have become something else." So yeah, definitely fixer upper. Definitely not fixer upper. Always start from scratch.
There you go.
Yeah.
What if the money is there? Like what? Like, do you have a?
No amount of money is worth that mental health and that mental stress, because it is a mental stress. Like the amount of money has to be enough to cover doctor appointments, cover for everyone. Like it has to be that much. So, I'm going through it now with a particular client where it's been maybe 7 months and I'm still refactoring the entire site to get it operational. And it's tough. It's not easy.
Yeah, I think the only reason we even were able to do to get cannabis is because it was to a point where we could manage it, and what we did clean up didn't take as much, and now it's like it's operational, but it hasn't really been 100% refactored, which will take a lot of time.
That is correct.
Yes.
That is correct.
All right, let's go for our final one. Do you rather code with cannabis or code with an old-fashioned?
And I assume you're talking about old-fashioned drink.
The drink?
The drink, the alcoholic drink, yeah.
Okay.
Because you can imagine listening to jazz on a rainy day with an old-fashioned. Or
You see, I have to say, like when I drink, especially an old-fashioned, which is my favorite drink, by the way, that or I discovered what was the one we discovered? It was a Peruvian take on Moscow Mule.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That drink was, like big shout outs to those people at Barasas in Decatur. It's here in Decatur, downtown Decatur.
Okay.
Shout out to those people because that drink, man, fucked me up, and it was brunch.
It was like that. It was strong like that.
In the morning.
It was just one. I think it's because it's made with brandy. Well, I mean, yes, two. You drink two for sure. But it was made with brandy, and I did have a sip, and that's all I needed, really.
Okay.
I was like, I'm ready to go home and party at home.
And that's the problem. When I do drink, I either want to soak listening to records or party my ass off. With cannabis, I actually get focused. Like I'm like, okay, in the zone. And that's why I choose cannabis.
Okay. So old fashioned is okay, but if we're gonna go in that area, I would either do a gentleman jack. Gentleman jack is very nice. I would have it neat, maybe a little bit of ice on a gentleman jack. But I recently got introduced the last few months. I've been on my new beer, Krogenberger 1664 Block.
That is a long title. I will never remember that.
Don't worry, I'll send you a picture. But listen, Krogenberger 1664 Block is so damn smooth. It's like it's that light little, and it has a hint crisp of a citrus. They made it in France or something like that. It's great. And so the last week, that's what I've been using when I'm going over my code, looking at stuff like that. And it's like it doesn't get me. I'm not too hyped, but I'm not too relaxed. I'm just in that like. I know I'm still working, but I'm vibing. You know what I mean? And when you get that vibe, then you can roll. You know what I mean? So that's how I am with that. Yeah, like I don't smoke that much, and if I do cannabis, it would be an edible. Which shout out to the people in Portland who gave them edibles, man. But anyway, it was good. If I do that, I've never done it. I wasn't a coder back then, so I don't know. I don't know. I have to explore that because when I had edibles, I was not a coder. So now that I'm coding, I have to see.
Right.
Okay.
I think
So-
when you I think when you do, then you'll be our feature coder, so we can like interview you.
Right, we're gonna have to get to the bottom of this. We got to.
All right, and with that, that was it. That was in if and ifs.
All right.
Woo-hoo!
They were good ones.
So, yeah. So, for our viewers, the sun's setting and it's just shining on me right now.
I know, right?
But I did wanted to create a new segment.
Okay.
Just because we already found the source on our last one.
Mhm.
And this one, I wanted to take a little bit on into like movies and TV shows. And I wanted to see if you guys can guess either the TV or the movie with this script. So we'll go ahead into our segment called Guess the Script. All right.
I'm actually really excited for this.
I'm excited because, as we all know, Angel is a very good movie critic, fanatic. Like and I wanted to get something that he might not get because it's so hard. But
All right.
I'm coming for you.
Okay.
No All right, so our first one, let's go. There's way too much information to decode the blank. You get used to it, though. Your brain does the translation. I don't even see the code. All I see is blonde, brunette, and redheads. Hey, you want to get a drink?
That's the Matrix.
The Matrix.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Come on, that was too easy.
Yeah. If you hadn't put the blonde, the redhead, and the
That last part gave it away because they were in there looking at it. He was like, all I see is blonde, red. Yeah, that was too easy.
Really? I mean, I felt that I was gonna give it away with the blank instead of the.
Nah, but everybody's trying to. We in the Matrix right now. We got to decode. You know how it go.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like,
brain, I live outside the Matrix. Come on, Mandy.
To be honest, though, like me reading that part, like I can't picture exactly where in the movie. Like,
I have more. It was Mouse. I think the guy's name was the scrawny kid from the first Matrix, and he was sitting in the computer, and Neo appears behind them drinking. He's like, hey. He was like, oh, and then the guys were like, oh, I didn't see you there. He's like, hey, what are you doing? And then he's like, oh, I'm just doing this, but I don't see code anymore. And then he goes into that spiel.
Well, it was actually Cypher.
Cypher's his name.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I said Mouse. No.
Yeah.
Is Mouse even a character? I feel like
no. I was like, where'd Mouse come from?
Mouse was the very skinny dude, the guy that was just like scrawny and
he's bold.
Oh, his name is Mouse, isn't it?
I thought it was Mouse.
Mouse? Maybe because you keep saying it now, I'm thinking like maybe that is.
Maybe we'll have to rewatch it. Yeah. All right, let's go to our next one.
Okay. I just Googled it.
What? It was Mouse?
It was Mouse. His name is Mouse, but I think he was probably talking to Cypher.
Gotcha.
Got it.
Maybe. I don't know. This is gonna have to go after
part 2.
All right, let's go to our next one.
All right.
This is the new world. And in the new world, you can be whoever the fuck you want.
Ooh.
And it's coding based. This show it's a show and it's a code based show.
Is it Mr. Robot?
What's the oh man.
Halt of Fire.
No.
It's Silicon Valley.
No.
Oh, so that was good.
And if anybody in the audience has a clue, you can send it through the comments and participate if you want and help these guys out on this one.
Can you pull up the question again? I just need
Yeah, absolutely. This is the new world. And in the new world, you can be whoever the fuck you want.
It's a TV show, you said?
It is. It's a pretty dope one at that.
Yeah, see, man, y'all know I don't watch TV like that. You know what I mean?
This is coding related or marketing related.
So it's coding related, but it's not like computer and like, but it's based off a code, a program, or like programming. I feel like I'm giving it away already.
Yo, I mean, you gotta keep giving us hints because we got nothing.
I'm out of there. Like,
man, I feel like if I give this, it's okay. I'm gonna put it out there. You go into this world and be whoever the fuck you want, and you can do whatever you want, and not get like go to jail or nothing like that. Nobody can kill you because it's your.
Is this a show or a movie?
It's a show. It's a show.
It's a show.
Yeah.
This one of the reasons I don't watch TV. Go ahead. What is it?
You guys give up?
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
This was, I think, it's Maze from the Westworld.
Oh my God, Westworld.
Okay.
Westworld.
Shit.
So,
but that threw me off, though. That really threw me off.
Okay. I'll put it on my list.
But
I obtained it.
But it makes sense.
It does.
Oh, now makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
If you haven't seen Westworld, Travis,
I haven't.
It's a slow burn. It's a slow paced shit. But season 1, I haven't seen season 2. Season 1 of it is one of the best. I don't know, the best plot twist. Let's call it because I don't really want to give anything away. Fantastic show.
I'll check it out. Because remember, I hadn't watched TV in years. Then I started watching TV for Game of Thrones. They broke my heart, and I stopped watching TV again. So I'm trying to come back. You know, especially the more coding you do, is like, damn, you need a break. You might have to watch. You know, but I'm gonna take this Westworld. All right, I'm gonna try it. We'll see.
Give it a shot.
Yes, the Westworld. All right, so here we go. This one's a little bit longer, but here we go. I think Angel's gonna get this right away, but we'll see.
All right.
Hello, IT. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Okay, well, the button on the side, is it glowing? Yeah, you need to turn it on. The button turns it on. Yeah. You do know how buttons work, don't you? No, not the clothes ones.
I don't think you're gonna get this, Travis. I don't think
it's one of my favorites because of the actor that's in it. I'm in love with since day one, and I found this show. Well, we found this show later in the game, and it just became my favorite.
Still holds up. It still holds up into you watch it today. It's still super relevant. It is the IT crew.
The IT crew.
Oh, yeah. IT crowd.
Oh, the IT crowd. I'm sorry. Wow. Yeah. All that book I'm wrong. The IT.
It's like super nerd alert. Okay, IT. Somebody write this one out for me. What is it? What is this one?
The IT crowd.
Crowd. Okay, I'll put that on my list. I'm holding y'all liable if all this shit sucks. I'm coming back talking so much shit.
Oh, man. It's really good. It's really
cool.
And that was it, guys.
All right.
Hi, I like this.
Yes.
Cool.
I didn't want to do a lot because in case we want to use it in the future, since there's not a lot of coding shirts out there yet, I want to keep some for later.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's great.
That was smart. That was cool. I liked it.
Yay.
Great.
That's it. That's it for the segment today.
Wow, that was actually pretty quick. Oh my God, I wasn't even ready for that.
I know, me neither.
We're all like, wait, huh?
We're like, wait, we want more.
I think it's exciting. We're having so much fun. It's like, I want more.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, let's do a full circle. Let's wrap up the topic, which is difficult clients. Is there any last wisdom words you want to give out to everyone out there, Travis?
First impression is lasting. Set your standards from the beginning.
Absolutely.
I can follow up with that. That was just perfect. Yeah,
I think that patience is one. I think patience and know your worth. Like you can be patient, but don't stay there. Like there's a time when you need to cut off, but you have to learn what that is and when that is.
Yep.
Cool.
Wow. Well, I got, you know what? Let's give a round of applause to Mandy. Great job on the questions. Great job on everything. That was amazing. That was actually very, very fun and challenging. Thank you, producer Mandy. You have definitely taken us to the next level when it comes to Coders Uncensored and producing your show and everything. So thank you.
Thank you guys. It's been fun.
Yes. Special thanks to everyone watching. If you're tuning onto the live stream, thank you so much. Every viewer counts, and we hold it dear to our hearts. Thank you to our sponsor, Get Cannabis. That even though we're still waiting on free cannabis to arrive, we'll still be working 24/7 for them, as well as all the authors. If you have not checked out getcannabis.com, there's a section for original stories. And there are 3 authors who are fantastic at what they do, and they do some really great articles and columns and research. So definitely give that a shot, and definitely read all those great, fantastic articles. Travis, any last words?
No, just once again, thanks you to everybody, and remember, whoever you are, you can become a coder. Just take some time, put in dedication, but everybody can jump into this field and make something happen. If you need some help, watch Coders Uncensored or YouTube, and you can move forward like that.
Absolutely. Now, real quick, we haven't done this before, but Mandy has been so well on booking everyone moving forward in the next following weeks. I just want to give a special shout out to Darlise. Darlise is going to be our next week's featured coder. Topic is still right now under wraps, so check our social media so you guys can be the first to hear what we have in store planned. So Darlene, we'll be waiting for you next week. And with that, we wrap up, and thank you for watching.
Bye, guys.
All right. Appreciate it.